when you feel like your information is coming, because that's the same how I experience. I either feel completely like my mind is just like jello, like what, I can hardly almost like keep my thought, or I'm speaking so fast and it's so clear and I'm not even really listening to what I'm saying. So that's why recording, I listen back and I'm like, wow, okay.
Very often I notice, like in the evening when I'm tired, and then after I take my candy,
your CBD candy,
my CBD candy, I can absorb the information, but the information don't come to me. As very often I notice, even when I was in Santa Monica, when I wake up in the morning and I was in my kind of zone place, like, you know, making breakfast, coffee, whatever, and my mind literally have a conversation. And the conversation is exactly like, I have no space to think, calculate, there is not logic involved, it's just simply immediate answer.
Yeah, it's telepathic.
Yeah. And this morning, when I was walking, it was the same thing. It was just like coming to me, the information. After a long break, it was like very pure, and I recognize the difference. Like you say, you know already the difference when you're trying to be smart and when you are actually tapping into the wisdom.
Well, it's not that I'm trying to be smart. It's
no,
just
but
when I'm forcing to express a certain information, or when it's flowing and streaming down. It's effortless at that moment. Yeah. That's what I wonder sometimes too. How, and it must be one practice, and just I feel like if you're meant to be like, let's say, a psychic, of the way that I'm not there where I can have a call-in show and tap into that stream whenever. Because I don't know, it feels, but maybe that's just because I'm at the first, year and a half where I understand what it means downloading information or streaming down higher forms of, my wisdoms or codes or whatever, recognizing the frequency. So maybe that's what will unfold, and I will be there where somebody calls on the phone and I could tap into a frequency. But right now it's or I have that control over it. Now I'm realizing that I have control to stop it, because it's not something that I always need to be, I am in a physical body. I could only take so much.
A few days ago, I talked with one of my friend, Lynette, and all of a sudden I realized actually that the way I'm talking, it's actually that, not for better word, channeling, and I realize her attention to my words switch. Like all of a sudden you feel almost like whatever you say, it's reaching to this person. And it's very interesting because she is very high rank, almost the highest possible rank in military. And
when was this that you talked to her?
A few days ago. Literally a few days ago, and was also in the morning. So I realized that morning for me, I kind of forget, because I have that, and then I get distracted with all this craziness what's going on in the world, and have a lot of issue with myself emotionally and physically also.
Just 3D maintenance life.
Yeah, but I got distracted. And now maybe I rest enough and I start feel a little bit more grounded, walking barefoot every single day for a month. And
so you're saying you're ready to start tapping
I think
in
it's that, because I was almost upset, because I really like when the information was coming to me. I love the simplicity. I love that kind of clarity. I love that kind of connection. And then it was gone. It was purely just physical. What I feel when I meditate, that I'm leaving my body, that my body tuning to some kind of, weightless liquid kind of. It's hard to describe this, but I love that sensation. I become addicted to this. And I remember when I went for this, pole selling seminar. And he say, when I start discovering that energy, I become like a addict, because it feels so addicted. You feel like You feel weightless, you feel, you see colors, you see shapes, you have this, hearing
It's
kind
very
of.
addicting. That's
Yeah.
what they all say. It's like, but that's why you have to learn to co-create with it. And
But what I say,
yeah.
I start missing more, even that, even if it's getting stronger and stronger and progressing, I start missing the information, because without the wisdom, this was just the entertainment. I need the wisdom too. I need to
Wait,
understand.
What do you mean right now?
Okay, when I was having just
because usually when you meditate, it's more in the evenings.
yeah, but
You're
saying
talking about before the mornings that you have a lot of clarity in the
yeah,
mind.
but
You
not
have...
necessarily meditating at that time.
No, I know. That's what I'm
You know?
saying. So it seems more like you have the meditative body,
Mm-hmm.
physical, things happening, the energy, the hands, and that's when you're tapping into the meditative state. But you're saying that in the mornings you feel the most like a clear channel.
It used to be. Also, it used to be at night before I come here, and then all of a sudden the information stop. But my physical aspect gets stronger.
Yeah.
The physical experience gets stronger. So I was excited about that. But then, even if the physical experience gets stronger and stronger and stronger, I still feel like, okay, who cares? Because without the wisdom that I was able to tap in before, it didn't feel fulfilling almost. Like it was something missing. But you say, all of a sudden you start having this kind of channeling experience when the wisdom starts coming through you. So when you start saying this, when you start doing, sharing I don't know, transmission, it kind of fulfill me. But now, like, I realize that it's still in me.
Well, first of all, I've noticed that it's completely cyclical what I go through. It's like something. It comes, and I guess that's what all the flares, all the things, all the solar flares, all the different transitions of energy, because sometimes there's just different. My mind, it'll be like I'm getting poetry for 4 days straight, poems, beautiful like words, just sentences coming through. Even freaking Polish, which is like I don't use Polish all the time. I haven't, I'm not like and it's coming. And then it stops. Then I have a few days where I feel like my mind is completely like, meh, blah. The body goes through all its waves up and downs. And like those days when I was in January, when we went, by the way, it's 2020 right now, it's what, May 2020. In January, remember when I was getting all the psychic information actually about all of our friends, and then it stopped. I felt more grounded for like a few days and I wasn't getting any information. And then I think when we start feeling like shit, like, which is normal, the doubt creeps in. Am I losing something? Did I do something wrong? Why can't I? Why isn't that here? Because it's also addicting. But I realized that I'm just going with what's coming, because even the images, sometimes my vision is really strong. I'm getting random, all kinds of like a movie set visions. And then there's days where there are no visions. It's blank. But the information is coming.
Yeah.
Then it's something else. So also maybe the same way as we don't remember our dreams sometimes, and our dreams are cyclical too. We have like themes for a while, like how you said you don't really remember your dreams recently as much.
Yeah.
But you always remembered your dreams a lot.
Yeah, my whole life actually.
That is a form of
like,
protection right now. And because we're together, maybe you are holding the space for me to channel through our information, because it's not my information. It's our soul stream. We come from the same soul stream. So if we were both doing it at the same time, it would be too much of a it's always going to come right now in this 3D with the opposing energy. which is also our, soul shard selves that don't want certain resolve or certain information or whatever. So it's actually a good thing that maybe there will be a phase where it kind of like settles for me, and I could be cooking, and you can be in that space. Maybe that's what is actually good, because you're keeping me kind of a little bit more grounded. I don't know, I think it's like we have to trust in what's coming through, because I know one thing, you and I both, we never went searching for it. We never went like...
Although I will not even know what I'm searching for.
Yeah, I never was like, oh, let me try to do light language and be a light language person. I sat down one night and was like, I'm just gonna start using my voice and vocalizing, and then just the speed that things started unraveling and showing themselves. So, and then there's the different types of wisdom too. What you're saying, the slow and clear, that was kind of like what the video that I just posted of us when talking about the art, and that was coming from like a very kind of source kind of it's a higher dimensional source. It's very peaceful, slow. It's more coming from the heart, where there's certain streaming that it's still coming partially. My heart is always connected, because that's something that I feel like I've always had it, and I have the heart that cannot be taken from me. But it's still a lot on the brain, and that's why my neck gets extremely tense and sore, and it's uncomfortable. Like after, I'm like, oh, like my whole neck feels like it's getting extremely tight. And again, I'm not even really it's just what I'm saying it faster than my brain could think. And then it's again how I even how yesterday I keep asking questions right out loud. I'm like, but then I wonder why, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I know. And I don't know, it's so fast. How did I just figure out my own answer to what I just asked? And then it's another, and then when it's really true, my head tingles, it vibrates.
Yeah. Well, I guess we allowed some energy going through our body. That's very often for me, when I know that I have a very intense, which is a word is funny, intense meditation, because meditation...
Intense?
Yeah,
intention.
No, intense meditation.
Yeah, but you said find the word.
Yeah.
Intense.
Yeah. Very often I connect this with the next day not feeling really good.
With tension
physically.
the next day.
Yeah, my spine, for example, hurt, and I have a very weird headaches.
Yeah.
And it can last for a day or two, and it's not the headache that I know and deal with my whole life, which is migraine. No, it can lead to migraine, but I'm almost sometimes hesitating, because when I sit and meditate, I feel unbelievable, powerful and physical giant almost, because I feel like I can sit up straight. I feel that all the energy swirling around me and going through my spine, and I feel like I'm traveling to some, I don't even know what it is, but it's whatever it is, it feels so good. But I already connect this, that very often when I have that kind of meditation, the next day I wake up and I feel really physically almost disabled. And I wonder if that kind of sensation, because this is not just sensation, it's different if I have a sensation that I'm sitting straight, but I'm not sitting straight. No, I can sit extremely straight with absolute alignment of my body, which it's in my normal physical life, it's very difficult for me. And I feel literally like every single atom of my body, it's in the right place. I feel the way I breathe, it's almost like I'm breathing with the rhythm of the universe, God, energy, I don't know, it's like completely effortless and it's in particular pattern. But then next day I don't feel good, so I was actually upset. But I feel like it's also a process of transforming your body to some new frequency.
Yeah, it's like going up Mount Everest when your lungs have to be at a certain level, or when you scuba dive.
Yeah.
So it's acclimatizing to a certain frequency. And I think when we do that, when we stream information, or when you're in your meditative state, one, we haven't learned enough how to come back into the body properly. And two, it's simply going from a very raised frequency back to our programmed self, which is merging, so it'll become easier. The programs will start slipping away, but there is an aspect, because why can't we stay in that higher frequency, right? Why can't you hold your spine and keep being that way? Why do you have to crash back into physical? It's because of our old programs running us, and the collective energy here as well. So it's not just our fault. The collective is also at play here. We're transmuting. We have, past, future selves simultaneously. Like, some of them want certain, some of them don't want to evolve as well. Like, certain past and future selves, they want to be where they are. And by us tapping into a higher frequency, we can be disturbing where they are. So, one, I think it's like, we just have to set the intention for help from, all the higher selves and all the whatever spirit guides, angels that we have, to help us tap into the whatever frequency that will be the most gentle shift on us, but that is creating the biggest good for all. And my mind went, now we just jumped in, like, whoop, whoop. Because that's the thing, like, let's say if I say I just want it the most gentle on myself, I can have that, or I could have the most possible gentle, but that it is still creating the biggest shift and benefit for all beings. And trusting, I guess, that I'm being given that what I am ready to handle. But also the spirit guides and stuff, they don't always know better either, because they are sometimes our higher, more evolved selves that maybe sometimes push us too far. Because remember when Helen was here, she's a energy healer, and she did a session on me, and it was really intense. Like, I was like, felt like my hands were jumping, and she was just doing energy work, and the physical sensations, I cried like 4 times, broke down crying, so it was all kinds of emotional somatic releases and things like that. But she said all of a sudden, okay, I need to stop. Your guides keep telling me keep going, she can take more, but Helen said no, this is enough for her for now. And I respect that too, because it's like, we also have a say as this physical being here manifests in the body, in the physicality. Sometimes when you're not in a physical and you're in an observer perspective, even though they're right, I can take more. It's like someone watching a movie, but come on, give her a little more, she's almost around the corner. But you're not in the physical right now. She'll get around the corner a little slower, but it's too intense. It's too much, physical processing.
Yeah, also what I noticed that deeper I go to that reality, it's harder for me to, at least right now, I hope this is gonna change, it's harder for me to appreciate the reality that we are functioning. It's everything.
Really?
Yeah.
I would say the opposite.
No, for me, it's sometimes it's just like I feel like I'm missing so much that wonder, that reality that I can feel free, and then when I come back here, everything looks denser. It looks less,
I agree with that.
less attractive, and also our body, aging, and what people talk about, it become really like boring. And
well, yeah, but that we already know. We know why and stuff like that.
yeah,
That's
but I'm saying it's hard for me. And also, like you say, our spirit guides, they feel like, oh, she can take it, and that's the same way, like we're trying to share our information to people who might not be able to go as fast.
Exactly, which is why, but see how you just said exactly, it's hard for me to appreciate and you don't have enough to talk about with the people, and our guides feel that way towards us. Come on, wake up faster so we could connect again, because it's lonely. They're lonely, they miss us, we miss our fellow brothers and sisters here that are in the sleep process, that they don't have anything to talk about but what was on The Bachelor. But both are true. It's simultaneous. I experience all those same things, but it's almost like the tapping into what I'm tapping into, it kind of makes, even though things feel denser, I start feeling like an observer of it more than this is it. There's no more. Like, if I believed that, if I didn't get the beliefs, wow, there's so much more. This is a temporary reality. We're blending right now the density with the, higher frequency vibrations. It's going the other way now. It's going to be an interesting time. I don't take it so personal. Like how yesterday, after our whole session, we both felt like my apartment looked like a movie set.
Yeah.
Like everything seems, even right now we're talking, and my room feels like the walls are like shrinking in, and it feels very square in here and flat. The air feels like it's kind of like not see-through. It's a little bit like muggy, right? Like it almost feels like we lit like a little bit of sage in here, but we didn't. So there's the aspect of me that's aware of it, but then what gives me the freedom is that simultaneously I get the observer perspective. And it's almost like we have to just take things not so seriously. Like it kind of becomes funny. Like you said, looking at the chair yesterday and the color of it and like the simplicity and just the silliness of like even our own frustration at things, like me and you trying to put it together, the curtain stick or whatever, and it's like
but you see, I feel like when I have my physical aspect in order, I enjoy actually being like, I do enjoy my walk in the morning. When I walk barefoot, I feel the grass under my feet. I can focus on positive things like birds and and I feel happy. Or today, when I have a good day, I don't mind. I paint the whole wall, it was like I have to prepare. Takes time. I cook dinner, I make lunch, I make smoothie, I put this, and I don't mind. Even when I feel tired right now, I feel right tired. I don't feel exhausted and foggy. Then that's what is hard for me to function here.
Oh yeah, I mean,
but talking about tired, I am tired, and I think my brain in this moment, it's on strike. I don't want to talk about this anymore because I need a little like back to the reality that we have.
You're the one who started, bitch.
Huh?
You're the one who started, bitch.
Did I?
Yeah.
That was such a...
So talking.
Okay, no.
No, I agree. It's, I have cramps like a motherfucker today. And my ears are ringing, and like the physical body and the mental, like, depression and things like that. I really struggle with myself. If I feel depressed, like, I hate it. I hate that feeling because I remember what it feels like to feel different. So I'm saying, like, our level of longing, our level of suffering, it's almost means that the polar opposite exists. Otherwise, I wouldn't perceive it as such a, void. It's the contrast. It's because I know how much my brain can, like, create and what is the potentials and And the only thing that gives me peace...
we were just watching a video that one of our friends made it about how you can switch to happiness. And exactly.
Well, yeah, let's explain just a tiny bit more.
Yeah, it's like, you can switch to happiness.
About refocusing your thoughts in any moment.
Refocusing
and all
your
this.
thoughts, not giving a power to people who are trying to put you down, but... Yes. But I don't know, I don't believe we are a master yet to do this. And yes, it's probably will be a time when we will master this and understand that we're all individuals, vibrating beings, and we have a control about our vibration. But where we are right now, it's almost like sometimes I feel like when somebody tell you this, you feel like, oh my God,
Like, what's wrong with me?
Like, what's wrong with me? Because obviously it's supposed to happen, other people can do it and I don't. But when I'm in pain or when I have... It's like literally something chemically switch inside you. And...
Yeah, I mean, I want us to, speaking of you being tired in your mind, that's a huge topic that I actually want us to keep talking about in general, because all of those things, they're higher dimensional truths that don't quite apply in the 3D. We have to merge the two by saying you should just switch. Nobody has the power to make you upset. You make yourself upset. That is true.
Mm-hmm.
In the higher dimension. Here, when your child is sick or your dog is getting put down, it's not always also about just being happy. I think it's like everything is about authenticity and being where you are. If you are by saying you can just switch, it almost implies that we should switch. There's something wrong with not feeling happy all the time or where we are. And I would almost say sometimes the opposite. Go into your fear, go into your sadness, and you come out on the other side. It's also, that's easier said than done. So we have to merge gently the two. I say baby step. If your child is sick, we do direct our focus. So I'm still sad. I'm not going to try to pretend right now that I'm happy. But what can I do to slightly make myself and my kid feel better? And it has to be a gentle merging transition. Otherwise,
it's
the light polarity or, all these shoulds
from the D to A, jumping, because it's
D to A. Those are pretty close. How about A to Z?
Okay.
From A to B. Yeah, we'll have a whole talk about that. Because those are generally that's what the light worker community. Sometimes it actually causes harm in many ways because
yes and no, because you see, I remember.
Yes and no, of course.
I remember. It depends where you are, because I remember when I started listening first time Abraham's Hicks, and they were promoting, law of attraction. It was like, wow, oh my God, there is some freedom, there is something, and
it's the first belief that you have some control over your reality.
Yeah, and
it's
the beliefs was so powerful that actually I started manifesting things. Because I believe so well, but then of course, slowly, you start seeing, and it's easier to say than it made it.
The problem is that your shadow comes crashing back at you, because if you go down that trail, you also manifest that which in your subconscious you're trying to avoid.
Yeah.
So a lot of people that are in the law of attraction thing, they're, yes, you will focus on money, you focus on this, you'll get it, and suddenly some shit will hit you where you're like, what the fuck, where did this come from? How did I just get cancer?
Yeah.
And it's almost like, it's so bad because suddenly everything they believed, everything that they hoped, they completely feel like, fuck this shit, this was all a lie, which it wasn't. It just isn't a balanced teaching. But what you're saying, everything has its place. We need all kinds of different teachers. Abraham Hicks, some people will graduate to the next level. Other people, thank God that they're at least trying to focus positive, because for them, that's the best they can do. We can each, how they say, you're responsible to your level of awareness. That is pretty much it. That's the best that they can be at this time. It's a better alternative than if they weren't trying to focus themselves into positivity, blah, blah, blah. And they will go through their, crashes. But the thing is, you see, when we raise the collective vibration, and right now we need all different kinds of teachers and stuff, all of us won't have to crash, like, let's say the beings that are just stuck in Abraham Hicks, right? But the collective vibration is slowly raising. We're all raising it through different types of teachings. All of a sudden, maybe they don't have to get cancer. Maybe it's like they get a cold. And there's like, shit, how did I get this cold? That's not going to be such a huge thing where they would stop believing in law of attraction, like getting cancer, when you were just positively focusing into everything.
Or they start explaining like, oh, I lost my job. I guess universe want me to get better job. Instead, go to desperation.
Yeah, it's everything is here. Everything is a paradox. Or they go into the extreme of, oh, there must be a reason that I lost my job. Maybe you were just shitty at your job. As well. Like, oh no, it's everything happens for a reason. Like, oh gosh, I hate this spiritual bypassing. It just like, ugh. I prefer like the dark than like all this kind of, oh, if it's happening to you, you must be creating it.
I don't like either dark or that kind of.
I know, but it's
equally dark to me.
I know, but it's just, I don't know, the light polarity, it has something like almost like...
Yeah, but it can be more painful.
It is, that's what I'm saying. It's like the light betrayal.
The dark come and say, I'm gonna kill you. The light one gonna come and say, I love you, but I'm gonna kill you.
No. No. The light one doesn't say that. No. That's...
doesn't say that.
That's still the dark.
But it feels this way. That's what I'm saying. The light feel dark when they start doing that kind of, dance.
The light is not, I'm going to kill you. It's just you're not light enough to hang out with us. You should be. It's a judgmental type of energy. The ones that are more the kind of manipulative smiling to your face, and that's fake light. That's dark. That's more in the actual darkness.
Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, we could go on forever, so we might as well just give it a pause.